Hello, everyone. You guys are definitely prompt on time. Appreciate it. We're going to wait a few minutes, maybe about 2 minutes for some others to join on, and then we will get this product power hour get going.
I love people that are punctual. I am in the area. If you're not early, you are late.
Girl, same, but I was always running right behind everybody.
Not I. I swear, like, if I'm like even running like 5 minutes late to a client, I will text them like an hour ahead and be like, I think I'm running like 5 minutes late.
Mm-hmm.
Grab a cup of coffee.
Yes. Yeah, you guys are prompt. Love it. Love it. For those that are just hopping in, I just shared we'll get this party started here in about a minute or so. So excited to spend some time with you guys. I am really excited about this product knowledge class that we are doing tonight. So glad you guys are here. And it's just not about product, right? We're going to be doing some giveaways for sure. So yeah, we'll kick this off here in about a minute or so. If you guys want to grab a drink, beverage, whatever, we have a lot going down tonight. So get settled, ready to get some fun with us.
What kind of a drink is everybody having? Yes. I just have water.
Yes.
Brittany has lemonade. We already know.
No, but it's with something. It's some sort of like a berry lemonade.
Blackberry lemonade. I had it. I was like, oh, I'll have it for our thing. And I already sucked it down. It was so good. Couldn't help it.
Hey, if y'all are on, start putting in the comments what kind of drink you have, just so we know the comments are working. Guess what I have?
Of course, Mindy, Diet Coke.
I might need to get a second one, though.
I'm so boring.
Coffee, Glenn. Dang. You're ready for a mission? I wish I could have coffee this late. I thought
Pineapple
about
orange juice. That sounds tasty.
Donald,
grab yourself a drink.
A little beverage. Coke Zero, water. I should at least have sparkling.
Adrian, I'm right there with you. I just have boring water.
I do have a Propel too for hydration.
I do have pellet ice, so I feel like that makes up for boring water.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh, Kat, you gotta go clean your salon. That's not fun. On a Sunday?
People having trouble.
I love it. He's like, I'm not moving. My dog's sleeping. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for coming in. We are going to just go ahead and get this party started. My name is Brittany French. I'm super excited to be here tonight. Like I said earlier, I am one of Jacqueline Pro's senior national educators and have been blessed to be in this beautiful industry since I was 15 and a half years old. Yes, before I was 16, California let us legally work and my butt got into a salon as fast as I could. And I've been working with Jacqueline Pro for almost 9 years. And so I've been grateful to have abundant amount of education, community, and support. So we are so excited to share with you guys products from one style or from stylists to another. We have two amazing national educators joining tonight, going over our retail products as well as our professional products. And like I said earlier, we're gonna have fun tonight. We're gonna do some giveaways. I want you guys to all get familiar with the chat box down here. You know, let's just get familiar with it. If you're on a phone, it might be the three little dots and little chat icon down there. Love to know let's start with this. Number one, if you've been using the products for a year or longer, okay? Or if, let's say, a number two for 60 days or less. And number three, if you've been somebody who's using the products for 5 years or longer, y'all. Okay? So I
and the number four, if you're over 10 years.
Oh, yes.
Number four.
I see familiar faces. I see new faces here. So I'm so pumped. And just friendly house keeping reminders, you guys, cameras, We see everything, so keep that in mind. Mute button, let's keep that on. We will definitely be going over questions at the end of this training. With that being said, if you have a question and you want to put it in the chat, I will be monitoring some of those questions as well as the ladies will be getting those addressed at the end of it. So like I said, Mindy Dahl coming all the way from Indiana. And then in a different time zone, we have Ali Capello coming in from California. Both of these individuals are amazing educators, stylists that pour into this community and to the ones in their chair. So without further ado, we are going to pass this over to my lovely friends for them to get going, Mamacitas.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for being here. I am Ali Capello. I am a national educator with Jacqueline Pro. I have been using Jacqueline Pro since 2016. It is my exclusive line now, the only thing that I use behind the chair. I am a salon owner to a cute little 4-chair salon here in downtown Monrovia in Southern California. I've been in the industry for over 20 years. I absolutely love it. I'm so excited to be here with my friend Mindy today and Brittany, just to kind of get you guys going. It seems like a lot of people are newer to the line, whether you met us at a hair show or just learned about us recently. We're so excited to be here to kind of teach you and answer any questions that you have and kind of get you a little bit more familiar with the line so that you feel confident going into formulation or just trying out a new product that maybe you haven't used. And I'm joined with my dear friend Mindy here.
Hey everybody, my name is Mindy Dahl. I am from Lafayette, Indiana. I have been in the hair industry. This is my 40th year behind the chair. I've been with Jacqueline Pro since 2018. Just fell into the line looking for better ingredients for my health and just better performance of ingredients. And then I was open to a whole world of new friends and great things. Took the national educator training. So I am a national educator and found that my passion is just sharing the line and sharing the products with all you fine people and hundreds of more that I've met along the way.
I love it. So who is Jacqueline other than the name that is on the box or the container of our product? He has been in like every aspect of this industry. He is a chemist. He's been an educator, a colorist. He's been a platform artist. But most importantly, he's not just a suit that sits behind a desk. As a colorist, he knows our struggles. He knows what we need. As someone who has been behind the chair for countless hours, he knows how important it is to the ingredients that go into product, to what is off-gassing, to what we are breathing, to what is touching our client's scalp, to what's touching our hands, and all of those things. And with his chemistry background, he is able to basically create just the dream products that any hairstylist would just love to have, and practicality of what it is that we need, and also being the safest product. He also is an educator and still to this day does hair behind the chair and educates hundreds of stylists throughout different events and things like that.
So our mission at Jacqueline Pro is to improve the lives of stylists. We do that so many ways, but the 4 key points we talk about the most are better products, which we're going to talk a lot about today, better education. We offer events like this, in-person classes, big events, go to hair shows, small education classes within salons. So many different ways, and then online as well. Very affordable education all the time. Better income. You learn a little bit about that, how Jacqueline Pro gives back to stylists and the perks that we offer to give you a little bit of a different way of earning income. And then last but not least is better community, which I think is the most surprising factor, that as people come on with Jacqueline Pro, they learn all about our community. And here's some great photos to show some of our amazing events that we've had in the past. We have our summit coming up, which is our big education event, the end of July. And that's probably one of these photos. We do Stylist Vacay, which we're planning a cruise, a Virgin Voyage, this time to Turks and Caicos. Last one was lovely. That's represented here. We have education events, leaders events, and then one of my favorites, there is a picture here of, we have gone to places like Italy and the UK to also have some great community events as well. So that's the cool thing that nobody knows when they come on with Jacqueline Pro, and then they meet their best friends like Allie and Brittany from all around the country that we never would have met before. So why we're better? We're going to talk a little bit about ingredients, but just overall, some things that we do a little differently. We are vegan. We use natural ingredients whenever we can, cruelty-free, sustainable, effective, and innovative. And how is our retail different? We use the highest quality ingredients. We use a lot of pharmaceutical grade ingredients along with natural botanicals. We are exclusively sold through licensed stylists. You won't find us at Amazon, big box stores, beauty supply stores. I like to always throw out that I recently saw one of a peptide repair system at Sam's Club. So, we're a stylist. We are competing. This was not the case for me 40 years ago, but it's just we're getting sold out all the time, and I love that Jacqueline Pro does things differently. You also can sell our products online, our retail products online to your clients, and no inventory is required, as we have a lot of people in suites and or private studios, suites, or just booth renting that want to sell retail but don't want to have a huge bunch of inventory on stock. We've solved that solution as well, which we'll talk about later in the presentation. And like I said, we do use all natural ingredients, bursting with botanicals. A few of our hero botanicals, you might want to take a screenshot of this slide, kind of the foundation of our collection. Some of these great botanicals that appear throughout the line deliver like hydration, strength, protection, scalp support, enhance the shine, and control the frizz and improve the texture. So we'll talk about some of the key ingredients with each product, but overall these are ones that you'll see throughout. Some of our most featured ingredients are argan oil, aloe vera, rice protein, panthenol, and sweet almond oil. The argan oil is for moisture shine, and aloe vera is great for scalp health. Rice protein for strength. Panthenol is great for moisture retention, smoothing, and shine. And then sweet almond oil is an amazing product for protection, softness, and nourishment. So all these great botanicals come together to form something really special within our line. So first up, we have one of my favorites, pre-treat. Pre-treat is, as Allie likes to call it, it's like a magnet for the hair. It gently yet effectively removes those minerals, metal deposits, and discolor dull hair. It's great to remove chlorine, hard water, iron, etc. It leaves the hair shiny and touchably soft, makes the scalp feel great too. It helps hair build hard water resistance with regular use, and it does come in at a consistent 7.5 pH to purify with no harsh pH levels. At home, when you use pre-treat prior to normal shampoo, you saturate the hair really well with pre-treat, focusing on mid-shaft to ends. And then I like to, after I get those nice and saturated, work back up to into the scalp area. Let's set 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, if you're in a hard water state like I am, where we have incredible amount of iron, or your kids are swimming, go even longer. I like to do a nice treatment with it, leave it on 20-30 minutes. In salon treatment, you spray the pre-treat from ends up to the scalp. Best results, section that hair, comb through, really work through even at home too. Have your clients work it through. And then you can leave it on for 10 to 20 minutes in the salon before you shampoo it. Another way I love to use it is when I do a full foil to spray pre-treat between the packets, and you'll just see a huge difference in brightening that hair back up. As Dory said, pre-treat is a must in the Midwest. This can these visuals kind of show you when pre-treat was first launched. I was probably the poster child for pre-treat. So I did half my hair with pre-treat just to see the difference. So you can see the Cruella de Vil picture on the left, where half was done with pre-treat, the other half was not at first. And then I actually did it a second time as well, because for my hair, pulling that iron out, it always pulls to the surface yellow, and then a second treatment is what gets it out, or doing it more often than what I actually do is what we recommend. In the middle picture, you do see the water that shows the discoloration that and what comes out of the hair. Like I like to say, mine looks like a Coca-Cola was dumped down the sink. And then that other picture on the right is where I just took the one side, flipped it over to the other so you could see the difference in the two pictures.
Awesome. Next, we're going to get into our shampoos. The first one we have is Quench. I would say that this is probably the most popular in our line. It's definitely the powerhouse that I use behind the chair. It's what I give all my extension guests for their new install. It's just super, super hydrating with being lightweight. So it is perfect for all hair types. It is weightless hydration. It improves hair strength, silkens, detangles, and it for sure is our signature duo. The key ingredient is hydrolyzed wheat protein, which strengthens by fortifying hair cells with proteins, attracts and retains moisture in the hair. And when we say that this is a weightless hydration, it truly is, because when you think of a hydrating shampoo and conditioner, you think of something that's heavy. I personally have very fine hair. I have a lot of hair, but it's very fine, but it's also textured. So it's on the drier side. So I need hydration that's not going to make me feel greasy 24 hours later. And Quench is my go-to for that. It is great for the fine hair clients as well as those thick haired clients. Next, we have BioBond. BioBond is our 3-step strengthening system. It is bond building properties for damaged and color treated hair. It regenerates bonds and improves elasticity. It reduces fading. It enhances vibrancy. It moisturizes and protects to prevent breakage. The key ingredient in this one is Niosem technology, which strengthens and regenerates protein bonds. This is a great for any blondes. It does not have as much slip as, like, let's say Quench. So I would say with this one, you want to educate your client on it. Just let them know that this is a healing shampoo and conditioner. You're not going to have as much slip getting out of the shower, but you know, for once they expect that, then they don't think that it's just not working. After you're done with all 3 steps, your shampoo, conditioner, and then step number 3 is a leave-in conditioning treatment, and you blow dry and style it, the hair feels amazing. So just kind of educate them on what it will feel like getting out of the shower. And I also recommend trying it on yourself first to see how it feels so that you can speak on true experiences. Next, we have Fix. Fix is our peptide repair system. This is breakthrough technology that combats damage, balances pH, and reduces frizz. It reverses and prevents damage. And the way it does that is there is a spray that we will get into later on in our presentation when we go to color, but there is a step to prevent damage during coloring services. It creates shine. It increases strength and elasticity. It helps restore curls. It protects during a chemical service, and it is bioactive natural ingredients. Mindy loves to say that Fix number 3 is like breakfast in a bottle. And the key ingredient on this one is hyper fermented coffee, which neutralizes free radicals and stop the damage cycle. Again, this is a 3-step system. With Fix, when you're educating your clients on how to use it, they're going to shampoo and condition with Fix 1 and 2, maybe like once a week, once every other week, depending on how often they shampoo their hair and how damaged their hair is. That Fix peptide number 3, they're going to do a few pumps into their hand, kind of start with your mids and ends, and I like to just kind of squeeze it up my hair to get it in there. And then they're going to comb out and wait at least 4 minutes before applying any other products. Now, our Fix peptide leave-in conditioning treatment is not going to replace any other styling aids. So it does not have heat protectant in it. It does not have style memory or anything like that. This is just the leave-in mask, and then wait 4 minutes and then proceed with your leave-in conditioner. Here is how Fix compares with BioBond. This is just a great visual for you guys to screenshot. Honestly, my go-to is more Fix than BioBond, just because I like the slip within the conditioner, but I do use BioBond versus Fix at my house with my hair. So they are both great products, but this just kind of shows the differences between the two. Next, we have Frost. Frost is our purple shampoo. It is clean yet powerful purple shampoo. It tones out unwanted brass. It has added vitamins and soften to strengthen. It also is a nourishing blend of natural fruits and acids and antioxidants. The key ingredient is blueberry extract, which helps prevent breakage and repairs damage. I never personally have ever been a fan of purple shampoos because they were always very drying on the hair. And a blonde already is super dry, right? Like, so you're giving them the shampoo to tone out their brass, but then it's drying them out when they're already dried from their chemical service. And then Frost came in to the picture, and oh my gosh, you guys, it is actually hydrating. It is not drying whatsoever, but it is extremely potent. It is so powerful. Like, I will not retail this to my blonde extension clients because I fear that they will their hair will turn too violet and they'll just take advantage of it. So what I like to do with my extension clients is I'll use Frost shampoo in a purple bath when they come back in with their rose.
So next up, we're going to go into our scalp system. We have Revive shampoo. It's absolutely great shampoo. I'm so excited that we have this. It fights dandruff without stripping the hair. It balances oily and dry scalp types, so it balances out the scalp. It gently lifts the flakes, no harsh scrubs. Strengthens hair as it cleanses. It does have the base of Fix in it, along with the scalp health product ingredients as well. So you have that base of Fix in there, which I think is very important to bring out. So you're still having a great shampoo, but you're also helping repair that scalp health. It leaves hair soft, smooth, and touchable. And it is a clean formulation with professional results. So one of the key ingredients in Revive shampoo is zinc lactate, which helps reduce the flakes, calms irritation, and rebalances the scalp micro bloom for a healthy, more comfortable scalp. Coffee seed extract as well, and sweet almond oil. This one you do want to patch test, but the almond oil is extracted differently. So nut allergies aren't a concern with this one, but obviously patch test. Balances oil production while delivering lightweight hydration. It's never greasy on the hair. It never leaves the hair feel greasy. And this whole scalp system all kind of works together. Our next product in the scalp line is, I don't know for sure, so I'm waiting for the slide. It is our scalp scrub. This is an amazing product. This one does have nuts in it though. So it does have almond and hazelnut shells in it. So be mindful of that with any nut allergies. It deeply cleanses and removes the buildup, gently exfoliates without irritation, helps reduce dandruff and excess oil. It promotes a balanced, healthy scalp and refreshing and invigorating feel. This one feels great after you use it. I like to use the little scalp scrubber on it and then follow up with the whole with the Revive shampoo as well. And this one does have the sweet almond and hazelnut shells to exfoliate. And it has rose bay extract, which helps regulate the oil production and reduce dandruff while supporting scalp balance. And the third thing in our scalp line are our Revive biotin gummies. These support healthier, stronger hair growth from within. Biotin powered formula backed by decades of research. Complete vitamin complex, not just biotin alone. Pectin based, it's easy to take daily, and it's vegan and a friendly formula. It is the one line of gummies that's sold only through hairdressers. So we love supporting that people can't get this online or any other place. Key ingredients on this: biotin, vitamin A, D, B6, B12, and E work together to nourish the scalp, strengthen the hair, and support healthy growth. So I am big on, just because of my age, the anti-aging community. And I'll tell you this combination, now we're going in a little bit more with the Revive shampoo, but the combination of using pre-treat because of the hard water in the area, the Revive gummies to help really support growth, and then the Fix system has just completely transformed or reversed age on my aging clients because of the ingredients in it. So I love this line to complete that whole anti-aging. It's such a big industry right now, and Jacqueline Pro has a lot of products that helps with that.
You know, another thing with the Revive is it has the amount of biotin that your body will digest in a day. So like a lot of the vitamins and stuff that you see, it's like, oh, there's this many milligrams or whatever it is of biotin, but your body can only absorb so much of it in a day. And this is in conjunction with what our body can take daily with these different vitamins.
Next up, we have our Lumigloss toning mask. We will talk about these in the pro education later, but this is for our clients. So these toning masks are restorative, color enhancing, porosity balancing, healing and soothing to the hair and the scalp. They are great options for Ignite clients to intermix with Ignite, which we'll talk about later, but for retaining Ignite in between, Clear is just that perfect coat to help with the longevity of Ignite clients. And then this is a great product to retail your clients at home for color balancing. It does contain panthenol in it, which is that level 4 pharmaceutical grade panthenol, which is used to heal burn victims. So anyone that's ever used a colored shampoo or colored conditioner before, sometimes it just doesn't make the hair feel great. So this is a great product because it's actually healing. And then also it keeps that color balance in between, keeps those clients actually builds up a little resistance to hard water minerals and things like that as well by healing and equalizing that porosity and filling in those little potholes. Next up, we have Vitamin Silk. Vitamin Silk, Jack likes to refer to it as the underwear for the hair. You never forget that once you hear it, but is that first layer of protection. It silkens and detangles. It adds shine and softness. It maximizes color retention. It protects hair from heat, and it prevents hair breakage. The key ingredient in Vitamin Silk is vitamin B5 to help rebuild that hair shaft and add heat protection. Omega-3, 6, and 9 increase shine, strength, and hydrate. Vitamin Silk is just great for the whole family. It definitely is that one product that you want every one of your clients to have for that heat protection. There's many, many videos and photos showing how it does resist the, discoloring the hair or taking out that color, and how it just makes the hair feel great after using it for a while.
I think we should give a Vitamin Silk away.
It's your favorite, Allie. So in honor
of
Allie, we will give a Vitamin Silk away. Brittany's running the little drawing for us, so she will pick out. So everybody start talking about Vitamin Silk and getting a drawing. Raise your hand.
Silk, either put your favorite thing if you've tried it, or if you have not tried it, put a VS in the chat. And by the end, Brittany is going to be picking our winners for this. But the first drawing or the first thing that we're giving away is going to be a Vitamin Silk.
Yay!
Because we all love us some Vitamin Silk.
Yes,
oh my gosh, there's so many people who haven't even tried it.
Excellent.
Oh man. Some people are getting some Vitamin Silk.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right, hold on. Let's, you know what? We're going to go wild. We're going to give two. We're going to give two Vitamin Silk away because that is just wild.
You
sorry,
are
not
just
sorry.
hot
Bad.
over
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's crazy. Okay, so someone said they love it for men. I actually love it for my doodles.
I was going to say, I sometimes spray it on Emmy.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, we better move on.
Okay.
Ocean Mist, but keep chatting. Ocean Mist. It's just a really great sea salt mist. It's wave enhancing, texture creating, botanical tonic. Key ingredient in Ocean Mist is organic sage. This one is beneficial in alopecia, thinning hair, strengthens and stimulates healthy hair growth. I love Ocean Mist. I'm not a huge dry shampoo person. I like our dry shampoo though. I will use it, but I hate the way dry shampoo feels. Ocean Mist kind of helps a little bit with that, kind of helps making the hair feel or the scalp feel a little fresh again. And then I also use it in updos. It's great as a texture spray as well, using a little bit more product. And I like it for those beachy waves. And then we have Kick Up. It's one of my favorite. Kick Up is instant lift without stiffness. It supports hair health and shine, soft, touchable fullness, clean formulation, pro level results. You can get some amazing volume. All these round brush styles that are in right now, kick up is the key. I like to take it in sections. I don't, a lot of products, Dory Orff loves kick up, and she's the one that showed me how to use it properly to get the most volume, but I like to separate the hair each section and round brush it and then do the next section. A lot of products I'll spray it all in at the scalp and then go through and use my product, use my round brush and style it all out. But kick up, I do think works better. It does get a little stiffer if you just let it set. So use section by section with kick up, spray it in at the scalp. You can't even work it through to the mid shaft. I don't really pull it through the ends on most of my clients because I like something else for that, but it will give you great lift.
I actually love kick up as like a texture spray on the afterwards, because it's a little bit of a drier root spray, I would say, versus like a super wet one. So I'll even use it as like a texture spray after my client is like all curled or whatever. I'll have them put their hair back and I'll spray it kind of up into those curls, more as like a texture spray that's like weightless.
That's cool. That's a great tip. So the key ingredients in kick up are panthenol, vitamin B, strengthen and hydrate, sugarcane extract, which helps hair feel soft, smooth, and conditioned.
And next we have Lift Up, which is thermal protecting, style enhancing, volumizing mousse. The key ingredient in this one is polyculturium 55, which protects the hair from heat styling and humidity. It enhances conditioning and manageability. I personally, I've never really been like a mousse styler when it comes to like round brushing, but I absolutely love Lift Up as a curl product. So as I said earlier, I have naturally textured hair. I have naturally curly hair. And Lift Up is my go-to. I also have fine hair. So there are, if I have like really thick and really coarse hair, this wouldn't necessarily be my number one ingredient for curls, but someone I would say with fine to medium texture, this is perfect for them. So you want to be very generous with it. So when I was first given this product to try out with my curls, they told me like to use a lot, like 3 handfuls. And I was like, okay, that's crazy. I thought I was being punked, because who really thinks to put 3 handfuls of product into their hair? I'm like, I'm going to look like a crunchy poodle. So I waited until it was a day off and I did it with 3 handfuls. And like, I just heard it like squishing in my hair. Like I would go to crunch it, it would be like, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so disgusting. But once it was completely dry, I was like, oh my gosh. And like throughout the day, I would just kind of go and like break up my curls. My curls on my head were so like soft. It was not crunchy whatsoever. I absolutely loved it. And this is my go-to to wear my hair curly. And for my hair, my length is like, I don't know, mid-back-ish, bra line. I probably use 6 pumps and 3 times. So I'll do like 6 pumps on the right side, 6 pumps on the left side, and then I'll flip over and do like 6 more to get kind of like that back triangle. But you definitely want to use it very generously when doing curly hair. Now, when you're doing it for a blowout, you want to use it a little bit more sparingly. If you go in with 3 handfuls, you will not be able to get your round brush through the hair. So maybe like a pump or 2 at the root. How do you use this one, Mindy, when you do?
I don't do roller sets, but I did come from the mousse era. So this is not your grandmother's mousse, but it is a liquid. It does pump out in a foam, and it is great for my clients that I like to round brush. They still have, I know they're going to wear their hair for several days before they shampoo. Does give them that volume. So I kind of take the tip of it and run it through like almost like a root pump, right? So section the hair, run it through a little bit in layers with the applicator tip. And then I take maybe 1 more pump and run it through the hair to use before I blow it out or set it with a curling iron. So it's a really great one for that traditional set.
I love that our products have multiple uses, because it just really makes your arsenal that much more powerful, right? Next, we have BAM. This is one of Mindy's favorite. This is our humidity armor. It's silken, smoothing, and protecting. It fights frizz and locks in moisture. Its weightless coating seals the cuticle, and this is a heat-activated sealant. The key ingredient is calendula, which softens the hair and increases shine. It protects against cell-damaging free radicals. So super, super important on this one. This is a heat-activated product. So if your client is just like, it's like 100 degrees today and I'm just going to go outside, that heat is not the heat activated. It needs like a heat tool, whether it's a blow dryer, a curling iron, a flat iron. I personally, I'm not as humid as Mindy, who's in the mid to east. I'm in the Southern California and we have like 30% humidity. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so disgusting. But we don't have it like you guys, like most of you guys do. I, though, will say that I like doing this on wet hair, but then I also like spraying it again before I go through with a curling iron, or even going through with a flat iron. So I'll even apply this on dry hair if I'm doing another heat tool. Now, Mindy, I know that this is one of your favorite products, so go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah, we are going to absolutely talk about this one, and we're going to give some BAM away. So start commenting and BAM.
Oh,
Say how
snap.
much you love it.
Coming
Tell
in
us
hot
where
with
you're
the
from.
BAM.
Because it's not just humidity. This one actually, I learned how amazing this product is because I do a lot of brides and a lot of senior photo shoots. And after doing the photo shoots where I'm curling hair, you know, and then they go out and they get their photos taken for 2 hours, I had 2 photographers that I work with say, "Oh my gosh, your curls hold so much better." And they don't. I'm good, but it's this product. And so I do use it the traditional way, spraying it on either after my vitamin silk or before my vitamin silk, if that's the constant. If BAM is the most important thing I want, BAM is my first product, then vitamin silk is my second. It's vice versa if I want the heat protection and then BAM. But I layer these up, and then also before photo shoots, just like Ali said, like I have it in my bag, my bridal bag. I spray BAM on, okay, vitamin silk, then BAM, and then I do just take my blow dryer and just power brush through it real quick just to get the heat activation. It's great also in the winter time. If you're seasonal, if you have the spring, summer, winter, and fall, you're going to love it for every single season and the way it works. But yeah, I think Brittany might have had her hand up. Does she need to weigh in on BAM, or we just?
I was just gonna say I live in South Texas, Corpus Christi, right by the beach, you guys. And my clients, I have a lady who's in sales, and she used to plan her trips around humidity during the day. And she's like, with this product, I don't have to worry about this anymore. I'm not checking the humidity percentage on an hourly basis, which I'm like, is that a joke? You know, I don't have this problem. Okay. I don't have frizzy like hair. She does. And she, every time she reminds me, don't forget the BAM. You don't need the BAM. I'm like, yes, girl, we will get you your BAM. Okay. So I can't say enough about this for high humidity areas. It will definitely give your guys' clients incredible results that, I mean, they walk in the door saying, I can't forget to get my BAM today. I'm like, you got it. Like, do you do auto ship? Is that a thing? You know? So
Yeah, BAM goes in a travel bottle if I'm
yeah.
taking a carry-on. It's in my purse, so it's
I'm
definitely
picking
a
a
good one.
winner right now for some BAM.
Hey,
Awesome. We're 40 minutes in and we've already given away 3 products. Jack is going to love us after this. Next, we have Body. Body is our volumizing, body boosting, strengthening, another heat activated product, blow dry cream. The key ingredient on this one is copolymer technology, which wraps around and plumps every hair strand. Again, this is another one that is heat activated. How I like to explain this one to my clients is everybody knows what a lip plumper is. This is essentially a lip plumper for your hair. It's going to plump up each hair strand and make the hair feel thicker. So what I like to tell my clients is before I shampoo their hair, whatever, I'll be like, oh, go ahead and like grab your hair, or I'll like rough dry it. And then I'll say, you know, like grab your hair, feel your ponytail. And then after I put in BAM, they feel it again. And they're like, oh my gosh, it does feel thicker. And that's because that has wrapped around and kind of just like made each hair strand a little bit more swollen, if you will. So this is a great, great product for clients who feel like their hair is limp and just want like more movement on their hair. Not as much like height, like what you're going to get with kick up or lift up. Those are going to give you more volume in the hair, although this is also going to give you volume because it is a volumizer, but it's going to give you more body. So it's going to kind of expand the hair going outwards versus up for height. Next, we have Daydream. Daydream is our curl defying, frizz fighting, smoothing blow dry cream. The key ingredient on this one is sunflower seed oil, which strengthens and moisturizes hair. It adds shine while protecting the hair and controlling the frizz. This is a great one also for curls. So when I was saying earlier how with the lift up, I like it for more of that fine, medium to fine hair. Daydream is great for those thicker hair clients, that coarser hair, because it's a little bit heavy. I do like to cocktail the two. I'll put like a pea size in my mids to ends for my hair before doing my lift up. But for my clients that have that thicker density, that coarser hair, I give them Daydream as their curl product. This one also is one that you want to kind of educate your clients on, because when it first came out, my clients were like, I don't know, like it's so stiff, I can't get my brush through it. But a little bit goes a long way for starters, but also they need to comb or brush it through before starting to blow dry. That way you're going to evenly distribute the product and there's not going to be some concentrated into one area. After that, everybody's like, oh my gosh, I love this product, because they just weren't brushing out. So I highly, highly recommend that they brush it, or better yet, with a comb to distribute that product around.
I'm sorry for interrupting. What product is that?
Daydream.
Okay, sorry.
No worries. Next, we have Prime Shine. Prime Shine is our argan oil. It smooths flyaways. It adds tons of shine, and it's very healing and hydrating. The key ingredient is argan oil, which softens, hydrates, and detangles. This for an argan oil is very it's very weightless. So a lot of argan oils are tinted, which can be not the greatest for blondes, but they also are a little bit heavier on the hair. This is more of a weightless product, an argan oil, and this can also be cocktailed with other products. The BioBond, which is the 3-step shampoo system, this that didn't have the greatest slip, this can be added into the conditioner to give it a little bit more slip and also give it more of a treatment. And it's also full of bodies. I'm getting like some feedback from someone's mic. So if you guys can just all mute yourselves other than Brittany, Mindy, and myself, that would be wonderful. And Brittany, I feel like your hand just raised.
Yeah, I wanted to say, if you guys have some like thick, coarse hair clients, so like a smooth blowout, the 3 products they just talked about, which was BAM, Daydream, and Prime Shine, are phenomenal combo to get thick, coarse hair smooth, frizz-free. I have a lot of Latino clients with curly texture, and when they come in, they want that smooth blowout. So I love prepping the hair with BAM, then doing a cocktail of Daydream and Prime Shine in my hand, fully emulsifying it, rubbing it like lotion. And again, like thick, coarse hair, I rake it through, evenly distribute, and then, like Ali said, brush it through and start round brushing. And it's a great combo.
Like chef's kiss.
Mwah. Love it.
It definitely is. It's one of my favorite products too for bridal. I tell the story that with other oils, because I have to have oils to finish out or rake out those curls or even smooth out as you're putting the hair up. But I would have to keep baby wipes in my kit and just take 3 or 4 baby wipes to get the oil off my hands before I started the next section or the next client. With Prime Shine, one of the ways I demonstrate and share it with my clients, not only does it smell amazing, but it feels amazing. I just put it on the back of their hand and have them like rub it in. You can see how it really absorbs into the hair and heals, as well as giving the softness and the shine and smoothing flyaways that you expect from an oil. So sorry, Ali, that I hijacked this, but this is one of my favorites.
No, you're good. I just love that you can use it on so many, with so many different ways. You can put it into a conditioner, and any conditioner, not just BioBond. You can put it into any conditioner for more of like a treatment. You can, use it like they were saying. You can also add it into Definiclay, which we're going to get into, which is one of my favorite cocktails of all time. But it just has so many uses. It's not just one product that has one use, and then you're like, okay, like you can use it so many different ways. And I feel like if you can give your clients multiple ways of using it, they're more likely to buy more products, right? Because they can
Right.
use it in more ways than one. Next, we have Definiclay, which I was just saying. This is our matte paste. It is a low level of shine, a 1 out of a 5, with a high level of hold, a 4 out of a 5. 4 out of 5. This is a clay paste that's used to give separation and definition. The key ingredient is choline, which naturally occurring clay mineral matte-like finish. So I love Definiclay mixed with Prime Shine. It is my 99, 98, 99% is my go-to finisher. So what I do is I put a little bit of Definiclay, like just like with the back of my finger, I just go boop, and I put it on the palm of my hand and I emulsify it until it's like clear. And then I do a quick little like half a pump to a pump of the Prime Shine and I emulsify that again, and then I rake out my curls. I feel like the Prime Shine, the shine of the Prime Shine to the matte of the clay, you're getting that perfect mix where it's not too shiny but not too matty, but you're also getting the hold of the clay, but it also does not feel like there is a wax in your client's hair. It just feels soft and it feels like there is nothing in the hair whatsoever, but you're getting that style memory. It is my absolute favorite. There's tons of videos on Facebook of me showing it, probably with like every education video that I've done. I probably finish it off with Definiclay and Prime Shine because it is just my go-to and has been since these two products came out. Next, we have Definiflex. Jack likes to say Definiflex is as if Definiclay and Prime Shine had a baby, and I just do not think that that is the case. I still love my power duo, but Definiflex is a semi-shiny wax. It is a medium shine, a 3 out of 5, and you can layer it for added shine with a medium hold for a 3 out of 5. It gives separation and definition, with the key ingredient being coconut derivatives, which offers hydration, pulls moisture into the hair. It softens and moisturizes without leaving a greasy feel. Now, a good portion of my clientele is extensions, and with that being said, most of my guests have thin hair. I think that this is a great product. Mindy's going to talk about how she uses it in her updos, but for me and what I do behind the chair, I like the combination of Definiclay and the Prime Shine. I just feel like it is less weight than the Definiflex. Not that this is super weighted, but on a fine hair client, it could be a little bit heavier than the combination of the other two. Mindy, I know that you love using Definiflex for your updos, and I know that you're more of a Definiflex person than how I'm a Definiclay person. So go ahead and talk to us about it.
We are great roommates, but this is our one battle. So I flex, she clays.
I also have fine hair and you have very thick hair. So we just are on, we're opposites of the spectrum.
Right. And Definiflex, I love to work off the back of my hand when I'm doing updos. I just put some on the back of my hand. It's great for that separation. It does have that little bit of shine, which when you're, taking those textured updos, you want to see that shine without being greasy. It's just perfect for me for braiding as well, to use to do the big deconstructed braids. I also rake out my curls with it. I do sometimes pull out the clay and the Prime Shine to pretend I'm Allie, but I love Flex for finishing out my curls as well. So both great products. Try them both. We're going to go into our sprays next, but I just want to, I saw a couple comments about extensions. Allie is our extension queen, so she's already told you like a few of the things that she used. Allie, what would just be your top 5 that you recommend for extensions?
Okay, so each of my new installs get a product bag, and in their product bag, they get Quench 1, Quench 2, Prime Shine, and Vitamin Silk. And then, right, shampoo, conditioner. Yeah. Then they also get like a brush and a scrunchie. Another one that I love for extensions is Lumagloss. I love it for my clients to take home, but I also love it to pre-tone blonde extensions before I custom color extensions. So I don't know, for those that are familiar with extensions, sometimes if you get like a number 60 or a 613, they are very, very raw blonde extensions. And putting color on them. Sometimes you just want to like either fill that blonde or kind of cut it a little bit. So my go-to with using extension or for doing extensions and using Lumagloss, like in the back bar, if you will, is champagne and honey. I love those two. To just kind of cut that yellow or to like fill those blondes before I go in with a color. But yeah, those are my favorite products. And I mean, I always love Definiclay and Prime Shine on them as well.
Perfect. So we're going to go into our sprays, and the reason why it made me think of that is Shine Lock is absolutely my favorite for bridal work. I'll just go over my top few too, just quickly in case anyone is on here that does a lot of updos. And a lot of this is, you know, this technology that Jack uses with multifunctions. My bridal kit used to have probably 20 products in it, and now I think I've cut it down to 8. So I love that we have multifunction uses and just great products that get the job done. Prior to a bride coming into me, they get pre-treat, Lumagloss, and the fix system to make sure their hair is in great condition, kind of balance that color, give them some shine, and then clarify before they come in. And I give them a program of how to use that. Got that off of a makeup artist a long time ago. You set them up for that big day. So I retail those through my website. And then on the day of in my kit, my top in order, I use Vitamin Silk, BAM, and Kick Up all on the hair. And then I blow dry that through on dry hair before I start curling. And then I go in with Shine Lock, Prime Shine, and Definiflex, and then a lot of times to hold I'll go into Mind Blown. So we'll get into the sprays now, but just want to share that for anybody who wants to or does specialize in those services. So Shine Lock, amazing working spray. It maintains style without stiffness. It prevents frizz and repels humidity. It prolongs color vibrancy. It allows for natural movement. It enhances healthy shine. It's a clean, conscious formulation. Shine Lock actually is very buildable. You know, for those that don't love hairspray, you'll never feel like you have that spray in your hair, but it will build up as you use it more for more volume. But what I love it for, I love it as a setting spray, and then working spray, and then I usually finish with Mind Blown, which we'll get to next. But I did do a video on an updo not too long ago, and I forgot to spray Shine Lock on before I curled a section. And the difference when I dropped it, I was kind of glad I made that mistake. So test that out for yourself. The difference on that mannequin's hair, the wimpy curl before Shine Lock, and then the nice structure curl with Shine Lock was really pretty amazing to see. So Shine Lock is great for setting and great for working spray. It does have that panthenol in it again to strengthen and hydrate the hair, and vitamin E, which is the antioxidant protection that promotes healthy, glossy hair. And in the name, it's Shine Lock, and it does give shine. While also locking. Mind blown. So you know what I noticed? We are down to very few products that are still in our old packaging. Most of our products are in their new clothes, as Jack likes to say. But if you're new to us and all of a sudden you saw this bright red can that doesn't match with anything else, we're just finishing out our old packaging with Mind Blown and a couple other things. This is an amazing product. It is a great finishing spray. It's frizz fighting, style locking, color protecting. It is our highest hold. It's 5 out of 5. Jack loves to say it's a very firm hold, but I don't think he ever used Big Sexy Extra and all the other things that we used several years ago. This one is a firm hold. It will hold that hair. It will hold that up too, but you can get a brush back through it if you need to. You can work the hair the next day after using Mind Blown. So it will get the job done without making your hair, like Aquanet back in the day where you couldn't do anything without re-shampooing, and it leaves the hair feeling great too. The key ingredient is a proprietary copolymer. It locks in style and protects from humidity. So again, have that BAM early on in the process for humidity, and finish up with Mind Blown to protect humidity throughout the day. And then we have Encore, which is our dry shampoo. It instantly absorbs oil at the roots, no white residue, extends blowouts and styles. Great to use prior to curling or setting or doing an updo as well. It conditions while it refreshes. It leaves hair soft, never chalky, and it doesn't make the scalp itchy. It's just a really clean, filling, dry shampoo. It is ideal for all hair types. The key ingredients in Encore are barley seed flour, which conditions the hair, enhances shine, and prevents dull buildup while absorbing the oils invisibly, and hydrolyzed vegetable proteins supports strength and softens while helping hair maintain body and resilience. So Encore is a really great product as well. I do keep that in my kit. I forgot about that one.
Also, the thing that I love about all of our products is they're water soluble. So they just quickly wash out. It's not like you have to really do like 5 shampoos to try and get out like your dry shampoo or your oils or
Yeah.
your waxes. Everything is water soluble, which I think is important. So how to retail at Jacqueline Pro? We have 3 ways of retailing. Your client can order online from your site and we ship it directly to them, and you, the stylist, will earn the commissions. You can do coordinate with stylist. If your client is sitting in your chair right there, you have the product on you. They can purchase it from your site and walk out of your salon with it. Or if you don't have it on you, they can still purchase it from your site and they will ship it to you with your next order. Also with coordinate with stylist, if you do have it and they walk away with it, they will ship it and reimburse you in your next order. That way you don't have to deal with taxes or inventory or anything like that. The next one is, the final way is your stylist buys the product directly from you, from your back office, and retail it. Like, you buy the product from your back office, your client buys it from you, retails it from you in the salon, and you do your own taxes and your own inventory. So those are the 3 ways that you can retail. Your marketing site is what you chose when you joined us. If you don't know, you can either ask the person that introduced you to the line, you can text corporate and ask them what your marketing site is, or you can also look in your back office and it will have your marketing site with what to share with clients. And you can sell to anyone across the country, and we ship directly to them anywhere in the US. So if you have some friends that have moved away, they can shop with you and you'll still get the commissions. It's great I've had a lot of clients who have left the state, yet they're still purchasing some product, and then I'm getting the commission from it, even though I'm not necessarily their stylist anymore. So the way our commissions worked is profit retails in the salon is typically 50%. You buy a product for $16, you sell it for $32. The salon makes $32, which is a traditional markup. To retail profits online. So our profits, if you're selling online, can go anywhere from 35% up to 55%, which is making you more than a traditional buy it, double the price, and sell it. So if you're selling $200 or less in wholesale volume, you're getting 35%. $200 to $300 is 40%. $300 to $450 is 45%. $450 to $600 is 50%, and $600 and above is 55%. So some great commissions that you can be making, and that is cash. That is, you can deposit it into your bank and use it for whatever you want. Client wholesale volume, there's 2 amounts. Each product has 2 amounts. There's the price that the client pays, which is typically like $32 on majority of our products. And then there's the wholesale. So that's basically what you're going to get credit for, right? So if you're trying to make $200 wholesale, that is off of that $16 price. So it's off of that wholesale amount, not the retail amount. So your cost is $16. You sell it for $32. Your profit is $16. You sell 24 products per week. You can make an additional $384 weekly, an additional $1,536 monthly, and that's just from selling retail. You can also save more and earn more by buying our 6-pack bundles in your back office. Most of our products come at a discounted rate in a 6-pack bundle. And now we are going to get into our professional products. But first, Brittany, you're doing such a good job. Thank you so much for helping us out with this. And you know what? What is your favorite retail product that you want to give away?
Oh, you know what? Let's do a Lumigloss. So we
Ooh.
will do a Lumigloss. We'll pick a winner, and you get to pick whatever shade your heart desires. So just keep in mind, Frost and Smoke are like go-tos for blonde. Allie shared her favorite for working with extensions, little champagne and honey. Of course, you have espresso for brunettes, and there are two options for your redheads, which are fire and brick. You guys can check those out. And then a go-to for everyone. If you're like, listen, I don't know what color, I just want to try this goodness in a bottle, go for clear. You can't ever go wrong with clear. So I would love to drop in the comments right now, what would be your favorite shade if you could try a Lumigloss? What is your favorite shade you've tried or you want to try? Let's go. And we'll get into, I'm so excited to talk about our professional products. These are the products that put us on the map back in 2015. I would say what they're going to about to talk to here in a minute are the products that the three of us got our hands in first when trying this line. So I'm super pumped to go into. Going this all this.
Awesome.
Look at got clear. We got a lot. Okay, espresso. Ooh, espresso. All right,
If
I'll
you
shut
guys are
up
not
now.
sure what shade that you would want to try, champagne and honey are my favorite for extensions, but what I have in my back bar is smoke and champagne. Those are my two go-to mainly ones.
Same girl. Same.
I love them all.
They all
Okay,
have a
we're-
place.
We're
All
going
right,
to go
continue.
in straight into our pro line, and then we will have question and answer at the end. So first up, let's talk lighteners. That's what all of us were introduced to. That's what started this whole Jacqueline Pro business. And first up, we have our Brilliant Lightener, which is our traditional lightener. It lifts quickly and evenly. It's safe for on and off the scalp. It is that classic lightener for highlighting. It lifts through previously colored hair. And with Brilliant Lightener, you get set up to 7 levels of lift, sometimes in perfect conditions, maybe even a little bit more. With Brilliant Lightener, we have our activators, timing, and mixing. So you can use 3 to 30 volume. You can use 40 volume, but not on the scalp. I don't ever personally need to use above 20 volume. So I wouldn't even recommend using 40 volume, but it is a choice. Processing time is up to 50 minutes. That mixing ratio for Brilliant is 1 to 2. And I'm going to have Allie just give you a couple little tips, her favorite tips on mixing up when she's using Brilliant Lightener.
So I mix all of my lighteners in small batches, and I have like a silicone spatula, and I personally just mix it really, really good. I do not like any of my lighteners clumpy. And actually a little off market here, I mix it closer to 1 to 1.5 with Bond Creator Activator, which we'll get into a little bit later. But I kind of go a little bit less on the activator.
Okay, and make sure you do weigh Brilliant Lightener, weigh all your lighteners, weigh all of our products. We will be talking about that soon. Brilliant Paint. So this is marketed as our open air balayage lightener. It has lots of other uses, which we'll talk about. It is silica technology. It's not clay based. So that silica rises to the top, it encapsulates the hair, kind of creates like a little coating. I think Brittany calls it like a Mento coating, just for visual references. So that encapsulates the hair and you get like great clean lift because it keeps the product from drying out on the inside. So it is great control. It glides evenly. It's clean application. It is an open air lightener, controlled lift, and lifts up to 7 levels. You both can pipe in on your favorite uses for paint, but I've been using paint on compromised hair for a while in foils. I absolutely love it. We'll talk a little bit about the mixing and the activators to use with paint, and I'll share that with you, but I use it with 20 volume or 10 volume in packets when I have compromised hair. It's great for that. I like to use it on tip outs. Again, we've already established I'm in a hard water state. The hair is usually discolored at the ends. I have to pull my lightener through, or I have to tip out that hair. So paint is kind of my go-to on the tip outs. Just leaves the hair really gives it really clean lift. Like no matter when you're doing a balayage, what level that you start with and what level you lift to, it will be a nice tonable level in session work. Anyone else have anything to share about how you love Brilliant Paint? Well,
I mean, of course I have some things to share about Brilliant Paint. I absolutely love it. We say up to 7 levels of lift. That is with proper saturation, which there will be a picture showing that in a slide or two. It is just so, I just love how clean it is. You know, Brittany was the one that introduced me to using it in a foil. I would say like levels 6, 7 and above. I actually kind of just go to grabbing that and doing it in a foil. I just like the thicker consistency and it really like coats the hair. So I've been kind of dabbling a little bit more with putting it in foils. And I've been loving it.
Yeah, I mean,
Brittany?
I mean, open air painting, phenomenal. Gets better lift than any other open air lightener I've ever tried. It's a fact. And as far as what these two when we're talking about in foils, it is incredible, like Mindy said, for compromised hair or clients that have more finer hair where you want a little thicker lightener for more security in your foils. Like it is incredible. And I even use it on level 5 hair. Again, that I'm doing some of my new client referrals, like they've compromised hair, okay, but they're natural level 4, 5. I will start with 10 volume and I will work up to 20 to 25 volume with paint and foils, and I get incredible lift without compromising the hair. So don't just think, oh, it's a balayage lightener, that's the only way to use it. It's not. That's just what it was built for. And through, you know, us utilizing our products in different ways in this community and sharing, we've just seen several different ways to utilize this product. So I'm going to say I actually grab for this product more than any other lightener now. And I live in an area where most of my clients are at a level 5 and below.
What's cool too with paint is I forgot the way I've used it the most because I got excited about the other ways that I like to use it. But is I use it with charged. I will take, and I think Jack even used it on stage. I will put my charge on, which is our 10-minute color line we'll get into. But it's actually just preserving the fade. Like when my clients come in, they fade it out. I want that dimension still left in their hair. So while that charge is processing in 10 minutes, I'll have my paint already mixed up. And then I'll just take a few panels, a few sections. Usually I use diagonals around the face, paint those out, tip them out, and then shampoo and then tone or use my refresher over so I get that dimensional look. Not really looking for a lot of lift when I do that. I'm just looking to preserve that fade, keep that dimension in the hair, and keep it in, great condition too, while still getting that dimension. I always found when I did that with foils and gray coverage, especially like in a traditional line, a lot of times I had to tone down because you put your traditional liner in and packets, you get that gray coverage where you want it. And then it's like, oh, it's a little lighter than I wanted. And all I want is just a little shift of the color and preserve the fade a little bit. Okay, we need to get to the next slide, which is talking about how to use paint. Oh, well, the next one's actually showing a demonstration. So this is a beautiful picture showing paint on the hair, how seamless, how easy it is to use, and what it looks like. Create some beautiful pictures to share.
And also showing the saturation. I do see that a few people have their hands raised. We are going to get questions answered at the very end, or you can drop it in and Brittany is monitoring the questions on here as well.
Perfect. And brilliant paint activators, timing and mixing. You can use 3 to 30 volume, 40 volume, not on the scalp. Typical is 20 in foils for me, 10 or 20 in foils. 20 if I'm just lifting to like a caramel, a few levels, or 30 or 40 if I'm doing a full on, get it as bright and light as I can in one session. Up to 50 minutes processing time. And the mixing ratio is customizable, that's one of the things I love about paint. You can mix it from 1 to 1.5 to 1 to 4, depending on the consistency you like. I'm usually a 1 to 2, starting out at that. Allie, Brittany, any mixing ratio? Or Allie, I love how you talk about how you mix paint with in the bowls.
So I mix paint to like a cream cheese frosting consistency, very, very smooth. I also am a very fast painter. So a lot of times people will mix it chunkier because they want those little lightener beads to be like fresh lightener as they're moving along. Because of the speed that I paint, I'm not too concerned with that. And also I feel like it makes me faster just being able to get some lightener on my hand or my paddle and just paint through. So I personally like to mix it very, very smooth. My go-to is about a 1 to 2 for normal hair. If they have really fine hair or thin density, I go closer to 1 to 1.5. If they have very thick or very, very massive density, I go over 1 to 2 to make it so that that product moves a little bit more. That's how I like to mix it. And I do small batches. I do about 20 grams, and I always start with 30 volume when I'm doing open air painting. And then if I mix another batch, which a lot of times I can do a partial with 30 grams. If I mix another batch, then I'll do like 35 volume and then 40 volume. So I kind of increase the volume as I'm going so that everything's done at the same time.
I think too, she mentioned small batch, 2 keys. I would have a small batch and then keeping that brush clean while you're working with it. If you're painting, doing open air balayage.
Oh yes, always have like a towel to wipe your hands and keep your brush nice and clean. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to set you up on this. Going to let Allie talk about this slide really quickly. This was her amazing challenge she did, so I will not take the glory away from her. Although I could tell this story. I've told enough, but go ahead.
Yeah, so this was when paint first came out. Typical clay lighteners, balayage lighteners, they get like 3 to 4 levels of lift. So, and I had tried them all and they were super messy. So when paint finally came out and I saw that I was getting 6, 7 levels of lift, you can see the hair above the rubber band, how dark it actually is. I told my friends like, oh my gosh, this gets such a good lift. They did not believe me, which, I mean, that's dumb, but they didn't. So I was like, okay, well, let's have a lightener off. So we applied it. It was with 40 volume. The same person applied all of them. So it was the same saturation all the way through. So you can see it's very evenly lifted on all of those. And then we went to lunch. It probably stayed on the hair about, I don't know, like an hour and a half or so because we just left. And you can see just how much paint outshone the other two, the Pravana and the L'Oreal. And that's because of that silica. So Pravana and L'Oreal just dried all the way out. And they were done working because they dried out, where paint stayed damp on the inside and just kind of created that outer shell and let it keep lifting for that up to 55 minutes.
Perfect. And next up, we have our newest lightener on the market, which is our diamond lightener. It's revolutionary technology. It's for those clients desiring that maximum lift. It lifts up to 9 levels. Contains time-release pigments that attach to the hair and cancels yellow at levels 9 and 10, which we have some cool demos of that. It is our strongest lightener, and I cannot stress this enough. We break the rules all the time, but this lightener is for off scalp only. It is not for use on scalp. It is made for all foil work at level 6 and below. This is an incredible lightener, but it's not the one you use every day. Like Brilliant and Paint are the ones that I use about every day behind the chair, and Diamond's one that I just pull out occasionally when I have that client that is that darker level. She's hard to pull through those, yellow tones that they get, and she wants to be in one session as light as possible. So Diamond is great for that. I will tell you one little rule I do break. I'm not really supposed to, but we're all friends here. I do like to have Diamond on hand. Like I said, I'm always dealing with hardware or things like that. I like to have Diamond on hand for that last section or that hard to lift client that, she doesn't really need Diamond all over, but she gets stuck, right? She wants to be a 9 or a 10, and she gets stuck at that level 9, but it's still got a lot of yellow in it. I do take just a little Diamond. I sprinkle it on top when I'm done with that last section, a little Diamond dusting on top of my Brilliant just to give a little more kick.
I also want to say that like a level 3 fine hair versus a level 3 like super, super thick hair. On the fine hair clients, you can definitely use Brilliant lightener. That thick hair client, or that's just so coarse, it just, it's like the diameter of that hair strand is like your pinky. That's where you want to go with Diamond. So it's not necessarily that it's only 6 and below. It's also taking into consideration the thickness of your client's strands of hair.
Yeah, I have some very healthy level 6 clients that I use Diamond on. just to get them lighter sometimes when they want to go that very light route. I definitely use the fixed system on them when I do that. So diamond, our activators, timing, and mixing 10 to 20 volume. Actually, most of the time you can get the job done with 10. I don't rarely use diamond in 20. Again, it's not on scalp. It's not for use on scalp. The mixing ratio for this is 1 to 2, definitely small batches with this one because of the technology. And the processing time is up to 50 minutes. Any other tips on diamond, Brittany or Allie?
I do just want to address, I know we're not answering questions right now, but someone did just put in the question about using diamond on a color correction for overlapped box color. I would be very cautious with that because this is such a powerful lightener for in the situation like that, if you're doing like overlapping color, because chances are, well, hey, we don't know what box color she was using, but that already weakens down the hair. I feel like this might be a little bit too aggressive a lightener. Any lightener that's designed to go up to 9 levels, I feel like would be too aggressive of a lightener for a situation like that, where I would encourage you to try going low and slow, doing it in sessions and using Brilliant or paint. Again, do a strand test, because with box color, we never know what to expect for one, but also you can, even with Brilliant, like with box color, you can come into a situation that you're having damage just because she didn't tell you that 5 boxes before that she did lightener, and then she used boxes to color it up because it was orange or whatever it may be. So just proceed with caution when you're doing any sort of a color correction or anything with box color. And anything, whether you're using diamond, whether you're using Brilliant, just do a strand test so you can kind of see what you're getting into. And it also comes into having the consultation with your client, showing them that strand test, just to cut a little piece in the back and just be like, okay, you lifted to level 4 here in your mids, 3 in your ends. So kind of talking between, like, we can stay in this range and then you'll be like a warmer color. So just kind of see what you're dealing with and bring that into your consultation to give, so that you guys are both happy at the end, because color corrections are and should be a very pricey ticket. Next, we're going to show you guys a video of the mixing of diamond.
So it's important not to aggressively mix it, just fold it in. Preserve those little capsules in there, and then you will see them start to pop up as it sits there. You can see those little direct dye beads in that lightener, which is super cool to see. And another reason why you don't want to use it on 8, 9, or 10 is because of those little direct dye capsules. So the color or the lightener has to do the lifting before it does the toning, and you don't want those capsules to burst and create little stains of purple or pink on the hair. And this shows it on a strand of hair.
All right, let's talk about color. We use all pharmaceutical grade, all natural botanicals. How our color is different. We have argan oil, rice protein, aloe vera, and calendula. We are protecting the hair. We're protecting the scalp. We're strengthening the scalp. How many times have you guys had a client that's like, oh, my scalp is burning or it's itching? That's why we put in the aloe vera, to protect the scalp. I had so many clients when I first switched. I didn't tell people that I was switching. And they're like, did you do something different? And I was like, no, why? Thinking that they were going to like judge something. Cause if you tell someone, then they're in the mirror like this, like, oh no, it's not the same. And they're like, oh, well, my scalp wasn't irritated this time. And I was like, why did you never tell me that your scalp was irritated? And so many people said, oh, that's just how I thought it was. Well, it's not. And I think that a lot of people, myself included, have suffered some scalp issues from color just being a little bit too abrasive on our scalp. So that is something that Jack takes into consideration when formulating our colors to protect that client's scalp, to give them, a pleasant service. All level 4 pharmaceutical grade ingredients. So in case you guys are not familiar with how this works, grade 1 is just industrial, nothing that hits the skin, the scalp, the nails, anything like that. Grade 2 and 3 is cosmetic, where most of the products do lie in those 2 grades. And then there's grade 4, which is pharmaceutical. That's going to be in your medicated ointments, med spa lotions, things like that. That's going to be the highest level of raw ingredients. And that's what we use in our color. The other thing that sets us apart with our color is our small batting process for tonal accuracy. So most color companies, they have, let's say, 3 main formulas. And from there, like a level 3, 5, and 7. From there, they're going to break it off and either dilute it, add in their red tones, and add in their cool tones. And that's primarily how most lines are either a warm line or a cool line, because they have one base formula. What we do is we create each shade from the ground up. Another thing that we can control with that is how much ammonia is in our color. So let's say a level 3 versus a level 7N. You don't really need ammonia in a level 3. So good chances are there is no ammonia in a level 3 versus a level 7 where you may need a little bit to get that gray coverage. So we can also control what is in each shade. And if it's not needed, Jack does not put it in. So that's another super unique thing about our color. Is just how we create each shade from the ground up. How our color attaches differently to the hair. So you can see in the middle is an example of a hair strand. So our argan oil cuts through the surface and goes into the cuticle layer of the hair. And that rice protein, which really was work to strengthen the hair, goes all the way through to the cortex. Now, as far as our color, Ignite, which is our direct dye, just sits on the surface of the hair. There's no structure whatsoever to the hair strand. And then there's Liquid and Restore, which are our demi-permanent lines. Those you can see primarily are going to sit on the surface of the hair. A little bit will cut through into that cortex, but not a ton. And then there's Envelop, which is our permanent line, and that's going to go on the surface of the hair, do the most structural change to the hair shaft, which is why we use it when we're going lighter and covering gray, because it's going to open up that cuticle so that color can be deposited into the cortex. Envelop, which is our permanent hair color. This is best for gray coverage. It's best for changing level and tone going lighter. Permanent results. Most flexibility when creating alternate shades, and it is a pure color that is true to tone. Again, we are not a neutral line. We are a very natural line. So we believe in custom creating all of your shades. We believe in putting that creativity into the hairstylist and creating what is best for your client. So Envelop can be used with 10 to 40 volume. 20 volume is recommended for gray coverage, and it can be processed for 30 to 35 minutes. 35 minutes is recommended for gray coverage and 45 minutes for high lifts. We are mixed 1 to 1.5 and 1 to 2 for high lifts. It is super, super important because of our botanicals that you mix the color really, really well to break down the aloe vera, which is a little bit of a thicker ingredient. So you want to whisk it really, really well to get great coverage. Here is an example of, here's a color chart of our shades. I'm going to go over our number and letter system with you guys. So an N is a natural. A 00 is a full natural. So it's a double pigmented natural. A 0.1 is B for blue. And then we have BB, which is double blue. A 0.13 is BG, which is blue gold. A 0.2 and a 0.22 is V for violet. A 0.3 is G for gold. A 0.34 is GC for gold copper. 0.35 is GM for gold mahogany. 0.4 is C for copper. 0.5 is 5 for mahogany. 0.6 is R for red. And 0.7 is G for green. Then on the second to last row, we have our tone intensifiers, which is 0.1 for light ash, 0.3 for gold. Then we have 0.4 for copper, 0.6 for red, 0.2 for violet, 0.11 for dark blue, and 0.7 for dark ash. Our tone intensifiers are what are used to create custom shades for your clients. So instead of having 6 different variations of 6.8 6.6 red, which a lot of lines have like 6.6, 6.66, 6.666. We give you the tools to create it so that you don't have to take up so much space in your cabinet. Our tone intensifiers can be used up to half of your color formula. So for example, if you have a 6.6 and you want it to be a very, very vibrant red, you can do 1 ounce of 6.6 to half an ounce of 0.6, that tone intensifier. Between light ash, gold, copper, and red, I would say that you can use extremely generously. And then on those darker shades, the violet, dark blue, and dark ash, I would use them a little bit more sparingly and on levels 7 and below-ish for me personally. Because they are darker, you don't really want to use half dark ash of your formula because it can darken your formula. Also, another thing with tone intensifiers is you do not add extra developer. So you're only going to add developer for your main shade. So if we're using the example of the 6.6, which we had an ounce, to half an ounce of 0.6, we're only going to add developer for our 1 ounce of 6.6. Down on the bottom row, we have our extra lift, which is our version of a high lift. So if there's a little X after that, that stands for high lift. And we have a natural series, blue, violet, and gold. And then we have light pastel toners. So if there's a capital L after that, that stands for light pastel toner. And we have it in blue, violet, and gold violet. And that is a permanent hair color toner. So it's mixed with 10 or 20 volume. You got to be really, really quick with it. I would not, so in situations where I would use it is if I'm doing like a global lightening and I want to get maybe like a half a shade lighter, I'll throw that one on, or I'll use it as a toning / base breaking combo. But you got to be really, really quick when you are working with those. And we do have a few newer shades, which is 6.4X, which is extra lift, 6.6X, which again is a high lift, 7.44 double copper, 7.66, which is double red. And then 2 of my favorite shades are of the new ones are 6.23 and 8.23. So that is a violet gold. This is how our color is made up. So a 6N is just straight natural. If there is one number after the decimal point, that is a single tone shade, and it's about 70% natural to about 30% pigment, or that shade. If there is 2 numbers after the decimal point, we do not take anything from that primary tone. We take more natural away. So then we're looking at about 50% natural, 30% primary tone, and 20% secondary tone. If it is a double pigmented shade, like a 0.22, a 0.66, 0.11, where you're looking at about 50% natural, 50% shade. And then our tone intensifiers are just straight, pure tone. There's no natural whatsoever in it.
I think the coolest thing, can you go back to that slide 1 second? Someone who does a lot of great coverage, and the difference between the line I was using or the lines I had used in the last 30 some years versus Jacqueline Pro is that, like this 6.3, I love to use gold as my base for a copper and gray coverage, but I found with other lines, just the way they were made up, not being small vatted, I really would I would be really unstable about how to control and get that perfect mixture. So having this 70-30, 70 being natural, I can use a gold or I can use an ash as my base in gray coverage, my starting base. So this one's a good one to screenshot and or really keep in mind when you're formulating with our color line. Next up, we're going to charge 10-minute color. It is 10-minute 10-minute color is I hate a 10-minute color, just gonna be honest. It is a dream to work with. Cut time, not corners, make more money, make your clients happier. They're in and out the door in an hour. And it is the best 10-minute color line on the market. So charge is non-progressive. It actually is healing and it leaves that hair, gives a lot of shine as well. It's vegan friendly, reduced ammonia, 100% gray coverage, vibrant and long lasting, like I said. And it is, the biggest thing is it's non-progressive, which every other line I always used, it was just, by the time you wanted to take it off, it hadn't even covered the gray yet. So it does have beetroot in it to protect and heal the hair from extra damage, has coffee to improve circulation and stimulate growth, and it has ginseng to protect and soften the hair. Right now, we do have 19 shades of charge, which are shown for you right here. What is cool, I don't know if we have a slide on it, but I'm just going to go ahead and say what is cool is that charge can be intermixed with our envelope line to create any color that we are lacking. You can use envelope with charge. There we go. You can use enveloped with charge to and still fall in that 10-minute processing time. My general rule of thumb is not to go over 20% of the formula with the envelope line to still stay at 10-minute processing time. So you can use those tone intensifiers. You can use like the mahogany that we have, use the gold base and then add the mahogany too, and create about any color within that range that we have. So here's a great little chart kind of showing how charge stacks up to its competition. Controlled charge technology will not overprocess. It's reliable, targeted results. It's formulated with Fix in mind. We'll talk about that, using the Fix prep spray to help equalize the porosity. And then when you're rinsing, because charge is very pigmented, say maybe you're got a 6 here and your ends are kind of faded to an 8, and you're going to refresh those ends when you're shampooing that out because of that intense pigment, you want to use the Fix to kind of help protect the hair from staining as you're shampooing out. It's formulated with botanical ingredients. It does have that aloe vera for the scalp plus reduced ammonia. 10-minute processing time every single time. 100% gray coverage, and then it can be used as an additive like I talked about with envelope. Kind of cool too in the reverse. You can use charge to kind of create a more pigmented version, or almost like a double because it has so much pigment in it. You can take that and make a more opaque finish or give a heavier, inkier coverage to your envelope colors as well. So another one of those great innovations that Jack had, that you can intermix lines. So here's how to use charge. You do want to section hair and apply the prep spray, the Fix prep spray, which we haven't talked about yet, but it's in a later slide. Before coloring or highlighting with that service, just kind of work it through, comb it through. It stays on for 4 minutes. So I do that first, and then I go mix up my color. Apply trace a barrier cream to the hairline to prevent staining of the skin. Mix charged with its designated activator. And this one, the mixing ratio is 1:1. You want to make sure you really whisk it well, or make sure it's really thoroughly mixed. And then, plan it out. There's lots of great videos on charge, but like working quickly, I tell my clients, hey, we'll have talk time. This is not it. Like, I'm working fast. You don't ask me any questions. You can, scroll through your phone right now or something like that, but let me work fast and get this on, and then we will talk in 10 minutes. So this is how you do use that charge and process for 10 minutes and then shampoo it out. You want to use either the Fix shampoo or the BioBond shampoo. Those are the two that completely stops the action of the color. So those are great to use with charged.
Oh, your boyfriend.
Here's my boyfriend. So using charge for gray blending, you want to prep the hair with Fix prep spray, apply trace barrier cream, and use with 3 or 10 volume just to blend that gray, leaving his really handsome little sides and his beard maybe out. And then mixing 1 to 2 when you're using that gray for gray blending. There's some great colors, great cooler colors that are excellent to use for men's gray blending as well.
Next, we have Restore, which is our demi-permanent cream-based line. This is PPD-free and ammonia-free. It helps equalize porosity. It's very healing to the hair, which is where the name came from, because it's very restorative. It is great for low lighting, ideal for gray blending. It is phenomenal for toning and color balancing. And this is a deposit-only color. It is mixed with 3 or 10 volume, processed for 5 to 30 minutes, and it is mixed 1 to 1.5. This is compatible with the tone intensifiers if you want to create any shade, but with the tone intensifiers being in the envelope line, it makes it non-ammonia and PPD free, probably more on that PPD side, but they are compatible. But if your client does have like allergic reaction, they're looking for ammonia and PPD free, I would not use the tone intensifiers. Here are examples of our shades. We have them in natural, blue, double blue. We have blue violet, blue green, blue green again, blue gold. We have violet, clear to custom create any shade to dilute it, or just if your client does not want color and just wants a clear gloss, gold, copper, reds, and red violets. Then we have liquid. Liquid is our liquid-based demi-permanent line. This leaves the hair soft, strong, and healthy. It is liquid color that actually is going to last. There's infinite possibilities when customized. This one, again, is ammonia and PPD free. And the key ingredients on this one are sugar cane, which hydrates and nourishes the scalp, naturally conditions the hair while adding strength and moisture, along with argan oil that softens, hydrates, and detangles. There are a lot of liquid-based lines out there, and I'm thinking of one, but I'm not going to name any names. But the hair, when you come back, just feels like straw. Again, I do a ton of extensions. When my extensions were colored with this particular line, or when I have used this particular line on extensions before liquid came out, one of the things that I noticed is it faded really, really quick, and it faded very, very brassy. This, for a liquid line, it really does last. Another super amazing thing about this is you can custom create shades. So one bottle can give you 3 different levels, and it's not going to take very, very quickly. You can process it for 5 to 20 minutes, and you have time once you put on your client's hair to go clean the bowl, go grab a sip of water or something. You're not going to come back and be like, oh no, this overtoned it to a level 7 when I put on a level 9, and hurry up and take it off. You're not going to have that issue whatsoever with this. So again, like I said, one bottle will give you 3 different shades. So 1 to 1.5 is going to give you on target. Here we're showing a 5.2. So if I mix that with 1 to 1.5, it's going to be a 5.2. 1 to 1 is going to level it down, so it becomes a 4.2. And 1 to 2 is going to level it up, which is going to make it a 6.2, which is also known as glass floss glaze. You can process it for 5 to 30 minutes. With liquid, our conditioning agents are in our activator. So sometimes on like a level, let's just say 7, like my natural hair, because this activator is, I want to say it's like around a 7 volume, which I think is common for a lot of liquid shades. It is enough just to open up my hair, expose my underlying warmth. So what I like to do is I like to personally mix this with 3 volume. A little bit off-label tip here. However, the conditioning agents, you're not going to get it in your, because it's not in the color like Restore is in the tube of color. With this one, it is in our activator. So if you are going to go off-label and use it with 3 volume, we are going to get into it, but use it with the bond creator because that's a more conditioning activator, and we're going to get into our bonds. A lot of people ask me, why would I choose this over Restore? For me personally, if the shade is available, I tend to gravitate towards liquid just for the ease of it. I would say that Restore is going to be a more translucent, and liquid is going to be a little bit more opaque, but not super opaque. Mindy, how would you choose one versus the other?
So I can see it a little differently, but it depends on which level you're going to. I see liquid because I use 1 to 1.5 to 1 to 2. So I see it a little more translucent. Like Brittany, I think called it like a lip gloss compared to a lipstick, but I'm using my Restore for soft gray coverage, gray blending, a lot of refreshing where I want that same level all the way down. So it's just depending on how you're using it, what the finish is going to be. But, and I like to use Restore for my low lights as well with 10 volume. So of course it's more opaque. So, That's kind of the way I see them. But again, I'm loving like liquid as a toner because it is fast, and 1 to 1.5 at the base, and then going into 1 to 2 just to keep those ends a little fresh and poppy without feeling like they're too dark.
Love it. So here is an example of our liquid shades. In the middle is the shades that we have. I believe there's a few that are missing on here, but you can see we have a wide variety of shades. And then the top one is Mixie 1 to 1 and the bottom is Mixie 1 to 2.
So we're almost done, guys. Quickly, what have you loved so far that you want to try? Pop that in the comments. We haven't given anything away for a while, so Brittany can choose some people to choose some products, some pro products, and at the end when we are answering questions. But just a few more things. So hang with us. Limogloss toning mask. Now this is using them on the pro side. So we do have the 8 shades, clear, honey, frost, smoke, espresso, champagne, fire, and brick. The only ones I really caution to use before you retail it to a client and learn how they work is fire and brick. They're very, very intense. So you want to know how those work. You can always make like a little color bomb with honey and fire and honey and brick to work that with a redhead. They are restorative, color enhancing, porosity balancing. They are the healing and soothing. It does contain that pharmaceutical grade panthenol to strengthen the hair, retain moisture, and it's customizable with Ignite, which on the pro side, the 2 uses we really use a lot for it is customizing it with Ignite, and we'll talk about that on our next slide when we get to Ignite. And then my favorite way to use it is as a pre-toner. So I shampoo the lightener out, shampoo my foils out. I shampoo, towel blot the hair, and then I apply if I'm going in the cool direction. It's generally frost or smoke. If I'm going in the warm direction, I use honey, and then like maybe on a caramel or something, and then champagne is a go-to of mine too when I'm just indecisive because it's the most beautiful beige. And then I go mix up my toner. While this is working on the hair, one thing it's great to comb out like your teasy lights. The hair will feel great. The client already experiences it, feels the hair and how good it feels. And then you've started that toning process. I come back, I rinse it out, and then I apply my toner. I've equalized the porosity. I've probably sold the product at that point, and then use Lumigloss in a really great manner. Okay, with our Ignite Direct Dye, it's best on pre-lightened hair. It is non-oxidative. It is no impact to the hair structure, no bleeding while shampooing. My friend Leslie had a great video of an extension she did a rainbow on, and just the video showed that shampoo, like just rinsing out clear so you don't have to worry about all that bleeding within those colors being intermixed. PPD free and ammonia free, and unlimited creativity when mixed with that Limogloss. So cool thing about it is you don't have to carry 50 different shades of vivid color when you're using Ignite. You can create a lot just by using the Limogloss with the Ignite to pastelize it or take the tones down into a lighter tones within that one tube of color.
Love it.
And here is a great example of that. We have all of our shades of Ignite, and then we have a when mixed with a Limogloss, a little more pastel version of it. The one thing I do caution people on, the pink, our pink is more like the bottom pink. It's the rest of them are beautiful and vibrant. Pink is great, but it's more of the softer pink than it is the brighter pink.
So we have a lot of good products that everybody wants to try, but just keep with us because I'm telling you, the one that I'm giving away next is amazing. Don't mean to get you guys excited, but hang on. So let's talk activators. So we have in our standard activators, we have 3, 10, 20, 30, and 40. When mixed with color, not lightener, but with color, 3 volume, you're looking at 0 levels of lift. 10 volume, you're looking at 1 to 1.5 levels of lift. 20 volume is 1.5 to 2.5 levels of lift. 30 volume is 2.5 to 3.5 levels of lift, and 40 volume is 3.5 to 5 levels of lift. That is with our standard lightener. Next, we have our bond creator activators, which you guys have heard us mention throughout this presentation. This personally is my favorite activator. It is my go-to and pretty much the only one that I stock at my salon. It helps prolong color. It protects the hair integrity. It provides superior gray coverage. It produces stronger bonds. It is great for single step bonding, all color and lightening services, and it's also great for those clients with sensitive scalp. So why I love Bond Creator, it's something that nobody else can get, right? When you think of any sort of bond building or bonding agent that you're putting into the color, you are adding a third party into your formulation. So you don't really know what kind of chemical reaction it's going to have. You don't really know if it's going to slow down your process. You don't know if your 20 volume is remaining at 20 volume. Some of them even encourage you to go up to 30 volume because it's going to dilute it. And the other thing is, oftentimes there's a second step at the shampoo bowl, which we all know that time is money. And if you only have, let's say you need to mix 5 more grams of lightener for your last 2 foils, how much of that third party product do you put in? Because typically the back is like off of half of an ounce and an ounce, but not on such a small amount that you would be adding to those last few foils. So with Bond Creator, it takes out all of the guesswork. If you look at the back of any activator, the number 1 ingredient is water. So we've just taken out some of that water and put in our bonding agents. So our 10 volume is 10 volume, our 20 volume is 20 volume, 30 is 30, and our 50 is 50. Originally, we did not have 30 volume. We had 10, 20, and 50. And 50 was used to create a 30 or a 40 volume by diluting it with 10 or 20. So not every state has it to where you can use 50 volume by itself. So you definitely want to look within your state to see if that is allowed. But also 50 volume is very aggressive. So I would just use it to use any sort of like dilution. How I made some mega bucks here with Bond Creator was when Bond Creator first came out, I wanted my clients to try it in their color, their root touch-ups. So I took 1 bottle of 20 volume and I educated my clients. I'm using this new activator. It's healing the hair. It's going to give you better results. It's going to leave a better shine. And I said, if you notice a difference, great. Next time it'll be $15. Every client except for one, and she is a friend, but she is also very cheap, decided that, oh my gosh, I love this and I want to keep going. So that increased my pricing $15 overnight on our root touch-up. The profit margin on 1 bottle with doing root touch-ups is about $280 profit per bottle. And that's based off of like a 45 gram color. 45 grams. So I really, really, really want you guys to be making some extra money. So I'm going to be giving away either a bottle of 10 or 20 volume Bond so that you guys can start using it, start trying it, encourage your clients, tell them what you are doing, because the main part of using Bond Creator is to increase your revenue behind the chair. So if you guys are interested in trying 10 or 20 volume Bond, this is our next giveaway. Type in 10 or 20 so we know which one you want to try so that Brittany can pick a winner at the end.
I love 10
I'm telling you
volume
guys
for,
this,
I love 10 volume for gray coverage, not exposing that pigment. It's just great. It kind of sticks to the hair a little bit better. I've been able to do about 95% of my gray coverage down in 10 volume with Bond Creator.
Yeah, it's amazing. It, like, seriously, the thing is you have to charge for it. Like, it is a more expensive activator, so you have to charge for it. You cannot just use it as your traditional activator and not increase your pricing, because you will not be as profitable behind the chair, and we all want you to be profitable. That's, we really, really want you guys to be profitable. So this is my go-to. I absolutely love it. It is definitely a moneymaker. Clients are going to notice a difference. So I'm so excited that we are going to be able to give one away tonight. So here is how activator works with lightener. You guys have all heard that saying, low and slow. You can see down at the bottom we have 3 and 10 volume, which is just a nice even lift in the 30 minutes. Then we have 40 and 30 up at the top with that blue and that purple line. You can see that you're going to get a super aggressive lift in that up until like that 15-20 minute mark, and then it plateaus out versus 20 volume that goes low and slow. It hits at about 30 marks. It gets as high as the 30 volume and gets just right below that 40 volume after about 40 minutes. So you're just going to get such an aggressive lift with using 40 and 30 volume. And again, it's just right up front, which is why you're going to have it's going to be harder to tone and all that, because you're just blowing out that cuticle straight from the beginning. So that's kind of showing you how the low and slow method works. Did I lose Mindy?
I muted myself. Last up, we have Fix. Fix is getting to know it a little bit more from the pro side and how to use it and share it with your clients. So Fix is rich in antioxidants. It's all natural peptide repair, leaves hair feeling like new, reverses that chemical and heat damage, and is breakthrough technology. It has fermented coffee, neutralizes free radicals, stops damage, all natural detoxifying minerals to protect the cuticle and lock in moisture. It's a bioactive peptide blend, completely reverses damage and restores the hair. This is the one I said I love for the anti-aging. Okay, so 2 steps with Fix when you're using it on the pro side. So to reverse the damage and restore the hair, you want to take our Fix Prep Spray. And step 1 is how to use that prep spray. Apply the Fix Peptide Prep Spray before all professional surfaces. Start by sectioning off the hair and misting the hair before separating into sections. Apply a few sprays of Fix Peptide Spray to each section. Do not rinse. Wait that 4 minutes. And then you either continue on with your service, or if you're just using this as your only service, you dry the hair and then continue with your service you have. If you're doing, it's great to use with a haircut too, to show that treatment as well. But I love to use it before all chemical services. And then you'll want to follow with that Fix leave-in mask. So say you've done your chemical service, you've shampooed it out. When you use Fix, use it in place of a conditioner, unless you're using the Fix system where you have the designated conditioner. Use the Fix leave-in replacement of the conditioner so it doesn't doesn't dilute that leave-in, and then leave it in for 4 minutes before you go through and use your products. You want to definitely use a heat protectant, because the leave-in is not a heat protectant. It's a repair system. So how to use that Fix step 2, I already told you because I got ahead of myself, but start with 1 to 2 pumps, freshly towel dried hair. The amount you use will depend on hair length and density as well as condition. Work the Fix evenly through the hair, starting with the ends and working through to the roots, and do not rinse. We do have this in the retail size and the larger back bar size. This photo right here is not doctored, altered. I didn't even know how to use any of those filters or anything like that back in the day when we did this. When Fix first launched, we got it right before a trip to Mexico. This was a lady sitting beside us that was there for a big birthday celebration and had gotten a body perm, like a beachy perm she wanted, and her hair was literally like falling out. It was ruining her birthday. And so we took her in, did a treatment. She trusted us to take her into a room and do a treatment. No color was done on this. Again, the first lighting was taken with a different phone, but her hair was that damaged. And then we just went and did the treatment, shampooed her out. I don't even think we had Lumagloss. Shampooed her out and then styled her hair, and we saw her. She had a smile on her face the whole entire rest of the vacation, and her husband, was very grateful thanking us. So this is definitely the power of Fix. There are many, many photos out there that shows how great this product is. And like I said, it builds the density back up on clients that are losing that density as they get older, like reverses the damage, reverses aging process on the hair. Okay, so Jacqueline Pro is a one-stop shop. We have tons of great things that we would go over in more detail, but we did a 2 for tonight, so we'll just leave it at this. But we have our clips, our roller combs, cutting combs and foiling combs. We have a really great water bottle that is great to put. I put my pre-treat in it because it's just a little easier to pump with that water bottle. We have gloves that people with long dagger nails show that you can't puncture back through. We have amazing foils, and we even have doll heads and more.
Before we get to questions, Brittany, you have, I'm sure these people are waiting to see who's won what. I don't know if you put it in the chat, but first, before we get into questions, who are our big winners?
I was going through all of this. So I wanted to do just some reminders of the winners. If you weren't paying attention to the chat, you might be surprised. But we have Glenn, who's gotten some Ignite shades. He'll get 3 Ignite shades. Heather Hansen is going to be getting 3 shades of Restore. Vitamin Silk winners, we went wild and did 2. We did Jasmine and then Terry Lee. And then Miss Gentry was the winner for the 20 volume BCA that we had. Yep.
I hope you're not using it yet.
Girl, yes. And then Donald got some BAM anti-humidity spray. Luma Gloss shade of their picking was Miss Rachel from Virginia. And then I didn't get to put this in the chat, but Miss Kathy Barco, 3 shades of Charged and a dedicated activator. So amazing so far. And I feel like one thing we are missing that I want to let's flip and go is I want to do a giveaway of the Fix Prep Spray and the retail size leave-in, right? So this is the Fix Prep Spray we're talking about with Charge for lightning. I'll just share you with how I did with my pricing is that I knew I needed to do a price increase and I wanted to also provide more value. So there are certain things I added in to experience in the salon. But one of the things is I was like, okay, I'm just going to incorporate Fix in all my pricing. It's going to be able to give my clients better results as well as some additional time in my chair. And let me just say it was the best decision I did for my business because I got to provide superior, I'm going to say, experience for them and their hair and increase my profits. And I know Allie went on about saying BCA, you guys, is an incredible way for protecting integrity with lighteners, as well as I personally love using it with that 3 volume or 10 volume with Restore, you guys, for my toning to be able to apply that bond creator from zone 1 all the way down to zone 3 to make sure those disulfide bonds are healthy from top to bottom. So somebody did ask, why would you use 3 volume? I love 3 volume BC. It's probably the number 1 that I use the most with Restore. I would love for you guys to just share either something you learned in the chat for the Fix Prep Spray and the leave-in. I want to learn something you learned, a tip, a trick, learn something about how this company does retail different. I know we talked about that at the very beginning, you guys. I love the fact that my clients cannot get the products that I recommend off of Amazon or Ulta or Sephora. And for the first time, I actually have clients that are referring me retail customers that don't even sit in my chair because their stylist doesn't even go through these recommendations or they've just tried all the different things. So the products speak for themselves. I know Allie and Mindy did an amazing job sharing all the things with you guys. Okay. So I tried my darndest getting to the questions all through the night in that chat. There was a couple I just wanted to pipe on really quick. There was one that asked about, the difference between Fix as well as the BioBond line. So in high level, the BioBond line is going to repair the disulfide bonds within your hair. Okay. Fix repairs the polypeptide change. When we're looking from a stylist to another stylist here, when we're looking at hair, we see it's compromised. We know it lacks moisture. But we also know that there is damage that is incurred to the inner part of the hair. Can't see that, right? So how many of you guys have gone to the doctor and they prescribed, hey, you know what, we're going to do this antibiotic. After this antibiotic, if we don't get the results, you're not feeling better, we're going to shift and try this antibiotic, okay? So for us as stylists, we can't see that. What's broken, what's going down. So we look at the client's hair type. If it's thick, if it's coarse, they might prefer Fix because it helps with a little bit more manageability with the slip, right? They have fine hair, or just say fine to medium hair, and you're like, you know what, they want a little bit less of a weight feel to their hair, I'm going to try with BioBond for their preferences. And if you don't get the results that you want with one after one completion of a system, you switch. Okay. So that would be my tip and trick on that question. And I think I'm gonna shut up now, let you guys go because I'm gonna pick a freaking giveaway for that fixed line.
Yeah, I want to open up 2 questions, but first of all, the way you're going to get your prize, just to make this easy for corporate, Brittany is going to go in and say who won what, but you will see it as a product credit or a coupon code in your back office. So like you'll just choose hopefully the product that you actually won, and then there'll be a product credit that you apply when you're checking out, just to make it easier for corporate not have to deal with all the things we decided to give away because they weren't on here. And I am most excited for the person that earned the charge. Brittany and I talk every Wednesday. It's the one day we're both behind the chair, so we both get mad because we're working and we can't talk all day. And so Wednesday I called her. She goes, "Are you done?" I said, "Yeah, girl. I'm not kidding you not. I went in at 9:30. I was done at 11:30. I said, yeah, sure day. I made $340 in 2 hours on gray coverage, slayed some gray, and I'm going home." Like, boom, $340 just on 2 clients, 2 hours. Like, y'all go do your highlights and tell me you make that. You don't. So use that fix. Your clients love it too. I have clients coming in a week earlier because they now are getting in and out in an hour instead of sitting. I mean, I'm really entertaining, but they don't want to sit there an hour and a half. And they don't like to be double booked with my Susie, who doesn't shut up from the moment she comes in and talks about her dog. And the other lady feels like she didn't get her time. So Susie got her time. Lisa got her time. I made my money. We were all happy and their hair looked great. So let's open up to some questions.
I think Evan has his hand up. I'm not sure if he still has a question or if that was answered. You're muted. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Oh, wait. And I just see, wait, Brittany, did you just say that Evan just won something?
I literally just put it, then you said his name, and I was like, yep, Evan loves it. I was like going this and just scrolling and like went like that on my clothes. I was like, all right.
Oh,
Evan,
congratulations. He just won something too.
Oh, cool. I was taking notes so that I wouldn't hold y'all up.
Oh my God, I love your accent. Where are you from?
I'm from Lake City at the tip of Florida. When you hear the banjo start playing, you know you made it.
All right. I'll be in Florida in August. Will I be anywhere near there? Where am I going in August? No. Oh,
well, message me and I'll still see if I can get the studio to at least go out and maybe we can do dinner or something. That would be fun.
Yeah, okay. For sure. Where are we going to be in comparison to that? I have no idea. Okay, we'll chat later.
Okay. My question was, I think it would be so cool if we did like a flash mob kind of thing on the lightener products. Like all of us together, let's all come up with some hashtag stuff. Pick a date for us to all post it at the same time to flood the algorithms. Make sure we tag everybody and share everybody's everything.
I love it.
Because, I forget who showed the hair strands with the 3 different lighteners, but I think that would be a fabulous idea.
All right.
Love it.
And I will say,
it was less of a question and more of a statement.
And I will say, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but if you use my first win hashtag my first win, okay? And then there is a number that has probably been communicating with you guys from the corporate office. If you guys send a screenshot of your post of the my first win, you actually get a $15 product credit just in general. So if you haven't shared your work, post a picture, hashtag my first win, text that number. I will put it in the comments, that number that you can text in case you don't have on your phone, and you get $15 in free products. So thank you, Evan, for bringing up social. I love that. It's just something where, again, like this has been years and years ago that Allie, Mindy, and I started our accounts, and there was just certain things in the very beginning like you can take advantage of and get freaking free products. So
I got my work. I got into I was in politics for 12 years. I was Hillary Clinton's state director in 2016. And I was so surprised how I got into beauty because I had a client. She was a candidate and she had a mullet. And this was before Jason Boone. And I said, "Oh, Debbie," I said, "You're not going out there like that, are you?" And she was like, "What's wrong?" I said, "There's a lot not right with it." And before I knew it, I had more people calling me asking me to help them do their hair than I did work on their campaign.
It's great. Are you coming to Summit? Because I want to be your best friend.
I was like, can we be friends?
It's what something in Las
July.
Vegas?
No, it's in Austin, the end of July. We'll text you.
Okay.
We'll all text you. Any other
BTC,
questions?
that's where I'm going.
My battery's dying. It's been great. Absolutely. Thank you, Donald. Thanks so much for joining. And we love
Evan,
to
are
see that.
you on Instagram?
I am. It's House of Evanescence.
I mean, I want to be. Everybody put their Instagram handle in the chat, and then we can follow each other.
Oh, that's smart.
Because I do want to follow all of you. I have to look up my Instagram handle because I don't know what it is.
Well, thank y'all for your time, ladies.
Yeah, do we have any other questions? Y'all are tired, aren't you? What time is it? I'm just rare. I'm ready to go now. Like, I'm here
Mindy's
for the midnight
charged up.
crowd.
Well, awesome. I'm putting right now the phone number to text in your guys my first win screenshot. Thank you so much for spending some time with us tonight. I know we had a pretty good sized crowd. I appreciate the questions. And if we didn't get your question answered, if it got missed by chance, message Allie, or Mindy, or myself, Allie Capello. I'll put mine. Brittany Dorr French is mine on Instagram in case there was a question. Or if you're laying in bed or first thing in the morning when you're drinking your coffee and you think of a question, please do not hesitate at all reaching out. We'll make sure we get your questions answered. So if there are no further questions, we will wrap this up. Awesome. All right, you guys.
Thank you guys so
thank
much
you.
for spending your evening with us.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye.